Alright, in this video we will learn that how can we implement or how can we write a custom hook inside a React application. We do have learned about use effect, use state, use ref, but if we can, then we can write a custom hook in which we can define the functionality and we can use that inside our React component. Well, for example, in this video what we are going to be doing, basically we are going to be implementing a API integration. We will be fetching a data from an API and then we will be rendering the list, right? So let's do so this would be the part 1 of this video. So let's do this. So what I'm gonna do, let me just copy it. This is an API URL and I will be calling a API equal to await fetch, and then inside the fetch what I will do after that, response equal to await API.json. It's going to be const, and let's define a thing over here and let's wrap it up inside the try catch. Alright, and then what we will do, we will say set data response. We do have a basically a use state of data in which what we are defining an empty array as an initial phase, and then we do have a use state of a loader, and also additionally we do have a use state of an error. So inside the catch, if there will be any error, then we will set the error to true, and whenever the try or catch block run, then inside the finally we want to set the loader to false, right? So this is a simple integration steps. Now let's come over here and let's just define if loader, then let's add loading, right? And if not, then let's render a list like it is going to return as a to-do along with index, and let's render a to-do list inside the p tag to-do.title, and inside the key we will be defining index. So basically this API will be returning me an array of objects, and each object has a property of title, description, ID and status, right? And we are just reading the title over here. So let me just save it, and now if I come over here inside the dashboard route, then you can see that it is returning us all the to-dos which are coming from our API. Alright, now let's suppose you have 20 to 30 routes, and inside all the routes you are fetching the data from any API endpoints, from different endpoints. So the concept of fetching the data API, the data from an API would be similar to like this in every component. So for that we can create a basically custom hook. We can extract this logic from all this logic from this component, and we can convert it into a reusable we can say reusable function, and that function is called a basically custom hook. So inside the utils, what I will do, I will create a new file with the name of usefetch.js. So whenever you are creating a custom hook, then your function should start with a word of use. It should have a prefix of use, right? So I will be writing use fetch. It is a function and it has a URL parameter because I will pass the URL whenever I will be calling this function, and then this function will return me the response of that API URL. So inside this function, what I will do, I will copy all this logic and paste it over here. Let me just import use state and use effect. And what I will do, I will return the data, loader and error, right? So let me just return a data, loader and error. Okay, and let's just make our URL dynamic, right? We will be getting the URL from this parameter, and inside this dashboard.js, what we will do, let's just export it as well. We will import the use fetch, and inside this we will pass the URL, and we will destructure the values, which the array which we have returned from our use fetch method, right? So now if I save it and come over here and refresh the page, then you can see that it is still returning me the same data. Well, this is the beauty of a custom hook. So basically inside the custom hook, you can define all the side effects using the use effect. You can define the states, and then you can return the data after performing all the functionality. So basically what I have done, I have created 3 states over here, right? The first one is the data, second one is the loader, and the third one is the error. And inside the use effect, I have integrated an API, and on the success response, I have, inside this data, I have update the use state of a data with a response, and inside the error, in the catch block, what I'm doing, basically I am setting the error to true, and after running any one of them, then what I'm doing, basically I'm setting the loader to the false, because the default state of a loader is true, right? And after doing all these things, what I'm doing, basically I am returning the data, loader and error in an array format. If you want, you can return it in a object format as well. And inside the dashboard.js, what I'm doing, basically I am fetching the data from our custom hook, which we have just created, right? And if you receive any kind of an error, then you can do something like this. Something went wrong. Alright, so let's do a data fetching in another route as well, in the order.js. And right over here, what I will be doing, I will be integrating a single to do API URL. So let's just import the use fetch, and then inside this we can define the to do -1. Basically this URL will return me only the single to do in an object format. And then after that, let's just destructure our values, data, loader and error. And then right over here we can say data.title. So let me come over here inside the orders. Then you can see that it is only returning me the single to do. So this is how you can implement the custom hook inside your React application. It is very useful, and it can save a lot of coding line space, and you can be able to write any functionality which you want to use again and again inside the component. So you can wrap it up inside the custom hook. So I will see you in the next video. Have a nice day.